So hello, this is Lisa Long, and I'm so excited. I'm on with Flat Earth Dave, Dave Weiss. And I've been looking forward to this interview for some time. Took me a while to get there. And it's going to be a really an adventure for people who have not been exposed to the flat earth yet. You're going to well, for one thing, if you're brave enough to be here, then you're good. And you're gonna really understand some things about yourself and get yourself to a whole nother level. So I'm so glad to welcome you and everybody who's watching right now. And so, David, I would like to go more on the spiritual end of everything.
Okay.
And because I'm a professional psychic for, I don't know if you've looked at my stuff, but I was one of the first psychics on the internet in 1995 with worldpsychics.com. So I was in Hawaii. I just close my eyes and do sessions for people all over the world for 35 years. And so for me, understanding that the earth is flat, I didn't get the big shift you did, because I already can hear source and talk to source and everything. And when I asked about it, source told me, you create your own reality. I thought, oh, okay.
That's true.
And that's, so my theme is, it's a realm, it's not a rock.
It's a realm, a level, stationary, horizontal realm where we do create our own reality. And saying that you're going to do this interview on the spiritual side, somebody new to this, like, what does the shape of the earth have to do with spirituality? It's not the
Everything.
shape. It's who we are, where we are, what this place is. It's more of a spiritual journey than a physical journey, for sure.
Oh, for sure. And what I got out of it was understanding that the earth, it took me, and I used to have moontruth.com, one big lie for mankind.com, angels for 9/11 truth.com, mothers for truth.com. I used to have all these websites of conspiracy stuff, kind of like you, right? And I left it behind for a while. I thought, I don't want to focus on that stuff. I took it all down and I just did my thing for years. And then Maui happened, and I'm like, I lived in Hawaii for 21 years, and that woke me up again. And so then I
Yeah.
started looking at all the undercover stuff and the deeper stuff, and it still took me 6 months. I've probably seen thousands of hours of your videos and everybody else's. So it's it still took me a while. And then when I finally got there, my little girl, we have all our aspects exist in the now. Everything's in the now. And so my little girl said, you mean I was right? And that's the big one, because I realized at that, and she started crying. It's like, I realized at that point, that's when I gave my power away. When I was in school and the teacher said, Earth is, a globe and it's spinning and it's moving through space and stuff. They didn't even go into that, I don't think, just spinning at the time. And I thought, I don't feel it spinning. I don't feel anything spinning. And so when she said, it's spinning, it's just spinning. You have to trust us. You have to trust the teacher. You have to trust science. You have to trust all that stuff. At that moment, my aura opened and I let in boogies. I call them boogies. So I let in outside authority, right? And when you let in outside authority, from then on, you're invaded by these dark energies.
You're singing my song. This is what I've been saying so much lately. It's with all this craziness that's going on in the world, people are freaking out. They're believing this nonsense, which opens them up to what's the right word? Is it evil, demonic
Oh yeah,
forces?
yeah, it's demonic, and
Yeah.
it's I call them little boogies, because when I clear them, it's like, if I have, when I was one time when I was in Hawaii, I was walking along the beach, and they have these things, they call them walkers, and the walkers in the old days guarded like a pie shaped. Every family had, like, they had part of the mountain and then a little beach, and they had these walkers they created with their minds, these beings, and they looked like kind of totem poles, really scary looking. And I was walking along the beach, and this walker came up, and he's like, get off my, get out of here, trying to scare me. And he was maybe 15 feet tall. And I just went up to, like, 100 feet tall. And I'm looking down at him, and he's like, oh shit. And I sent him into the light. And so once you understand that, that's why I call them little, because they're not gods. They're not God. They're not we're all aspects of the source energy. And our energy is expansive. We can expand into anything. So that stuff has no power over you once you understand your power. And that's why I'm doing this, because I really want people to find their own power, not externalize it onto teachers and scientists and all that stuff. And that's what happened. What I realized when I finally got through that, and I mean, I cried for a while, and then I still watched more videos and stuff. Those boogies can't get into me anymore. I was always really high level, but I still had some holes in my aura where they could get in. And then I'd hear the dark voices. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You can't do that. Who do you think you are? We control you. I mean, some really dark
They
voices.
control you if you allow them. That's
Yeah.
what's going on. I mean,
But I was
people
abused as
allow.
a kid.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I was abused, and so I had a lot of clearing. I've been clearing my whole life. So, and getting crap out of my aura. So I'm clear with source energy. The Indians call it a hollow bone. Did you know that?
no.
You clear out so that you're a hollow bone for source to flow through. I always thought that was cool.
Okay.
So for our audience on the spiritual level, yeah, this is basically about taking your power back from everything that tried to steal it from you. And that's why flat earth is so important. It's a flat level realm, and we're creating our own realm, our own reality. We're not, I mean, nobody incarnates and goes, I'm going to go incarnate on a spinning ball. Oh, and and with Einstein, I always tried to think how, because they say math explains it all, right? And so I always tried to grasp that concept. How does math, I mean, math can say it's this big and this big, but math doesn't, they said math explains everything in the universe. And so this morning I was thinking about that, and I heard you in my head going, you're not stupid, it's stupid. I love that saying.
I just took off that T-shirt. I just had that on.
Oh, you did? That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great saying, because you
Yeah.
can't reach your head around it because it makes no sense.
No.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's the expansion that happens once you understand you're on this beautiful plane, and we're blessed to be here.
When we're born, they give us a birth certificate. Our parents sign it. They trade us on the stock market. They educate us or indoctrinate us that we live on a ball, a godless ball flying through a godless universe, or at least a super diluted God universe. And they trap us on their system. And I always say, if we play on their ball field, you have to play by their rules. Our government can't admit the earth is flat, because if they do, then they have to admit there's a creator. And then if they admit that, they have to only pass laws that go with natural law, with God's law.
Well,
And
then they have to admit they've been lying and stealing money and killing people
and then then we have to hang
forever,
them in the public
right?
square, right? Yeah,
But
I
that's
mean that's
that T-shirt playing on their field. That would be a great T-shirt with like half of a
yeah,
ball, and then right, don't play on their ball field.
that's a good idea. Maybe I'll
I
make
love
that.
that one. That would be really good. But I want you to go into spiritual stuff too, like we're talking. But I want you to do the basic baby first time screen show. Where you
Well,
show graphics. I love your
I
graphics.
mean, I mean, this is us. This is a balloon at 127,000 feet, and there's
Okay,
the sun. It's right there.
I'm gonna unpin me so you're bigger.
All right.
Okay.
It's all right. And the sun is a local sun. Fascinating. It's right there. I mean, it's right there. The balloon's never under the sun. It's always seems to be like the same height It seems a little crazy, but once you understand what the sun isn't, I'm not going to say what the sun is, what it isn't, then you'd be like, wait a minute, this is starting to make sense, right? But if you Google flat Earth, you'll come up with this, right? This is not flat Earth. This is what Google's going to serve you, and we all know that whatever Google serves you is usually complete and total nonsense, right? This is how can we the only pancake in the out there? This is what they say. This is two false models: a false heliocentric model and a false flat Earth model, and that's what they want you. That's what they want you to believe. When the truth is, it's more something like this. With a small local sun and moon spinning around. We don't know what's beyond the shoreline of Antarctica. Antarctica. Think about this: large bodies of water at rest lie flat. Okay. A tub of water lies flat. What's containing the water? The tub, the pond, the lake. What's containing the water in the lake? The shoreline is higher. So, out of all the continents on the earth, um, Antarctica is the highest continent by over double, I think, over double any other continent. The average height of Antarctica is over double, and so that is what holds our water in. So it's the shoreline of our Earth. If you ask Google the ice wall, there flat Earth, they're going to show you this: ships falling off the Earth. No, no, this is a ship at the edge of our world. This is the shoreline of Antarctica. It's like 200 feet higher than the ocean.
Well, when you said flat earthers, you mean disinfo agents.
What do you mean?
Well, well, boy, they really come after you when you start putting flat Earth on. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, well, when I say flat earther, there's people, there's flat earthers. I'm gonna say that hate the word flat Earth. They're like, it's a level, stationary, plane Earth. Level is horizontal. Sure, it is. Level is horizontal, right? And they'll try to put that on a globe. You can't. But I like calling it flat earther because it triggers the crap out of everybody. And this is not flat Earth. This is flat Earth. This is a
yeah,
cartoon. This is a photo. Right. So, when you go if you go look at Antarctica, this is it. So there's so many ways to prove the Earth is not a globe and flat, and looking up at the lights in the sky is not one of the ways to do it.
yeah. For me, it's you can see too far
Yep.
because, well, the main one was when my little girl goes, "Oh, I was right," and I could feel all this energy shift in me, right? Because it closed those holes in my aura that I knew it wasn't spinning. So then I could trust myself more rather than asking outside. And but for me, it's you can see too far, and water always lies flat. I mean, those are some main ones right there. And Polaris, we can always see Polaris.
I was on a show and they're like, you can tell the Earth is flat because of the horizon. I go, it's a fuzzy apparent position. No, it's a crisp horizon. So I said, this is a fuzzy horizon. They're like, no, it's not. It's a crisp horizon, right? I'm like, oh, you've fallen into my trap, right? And so then we zoom in here, and as we get out and we zoom in, increasing our angular resolution, look what's going on out here. These are dolphins, and they are clearly behind that crisp horizon. This is just the limits of our eyes where it starts reflecting the sky. And these dolphins, what are they, over the curve of the earth and jumping up over? Hey, look, I'm behind the curve. I'm behind the physical horizon. No, they're not. They're just out in the water that you can't see. And Globers will be like, that's the earth. That's the earth. That's the edge of the earth. That's the curve of the earth. These are dolphins beyond that. And you can see where the water is. It's right there.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
yeah. It's just the resolution of the thickness of the atmosphere, and
And the angle that you're looking, the farther out you look, the tighter the angle gets. If you look down at your feet, you're looking down, 90 degrees down. Look at something 6 feet away, you're looking at 45 degrees. Look at something 20 feet away, you're looking at, a much more level angle. Look at something 10 miles away, it looks like it's at your eye level, whether it's above it or below it, doesn't matter. It all goes into that horizontal eye zone.
well, when you explain perspective, that helps too. And I was an art major in school, So I understand the perspective immediately.
Right.
But when your graphic is really good explaining that to people, that how things
Um,
disappear.
so the big one that people have is the sunset, right? So this is how we see. This is perspective, right? The ground ramps up, the sky ramps down, the sides ramp in, and guess what? The distance ramps forward, right? If you look from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So like 15 goes to here, right? There's probably like if you let this thing go, this amount of space is most of what you're seeing. And then you could probably fit 10 more, 20 more of those before the end. So it all gets compressed together. And then you can't notice that anything is getting farther, farther away. Let me show you what I mean. I think I have that. I'll show you something else, but this, oh yeah, here it is, right? So here's a picture out on the water, and you see this glary part of the water right to this line, if you will.
Uh-huh.
This is probably 50 yards, maybe 100 yards, right? But this line out here that we call the horizon, that's probably 5 miles away. So 50 yards is taking up 95% of my visual land space.
Yeah.
It's taking up, and so it's getting compressed forward, right? So let me go here, and so this amount of space, that's 50 yards, that's another 50 yards, that's another 50 yards, another. You can't even see them anymore because they're just stacking on top of each other, right? So here's a sideways view. No one ever gets to see a sideways view. Here we have a boat, and so for me, I'm standing here. I see this boat, and I put it. So let's say this is a mile, right? And I say, okay, I'll put another boat there. That boat's going to be smaller because it's farther away, right?
Yeah.
From my point of view, I'm looking from here over, right? And we're looking at this sideways, which no one ever gets to see, right? There's another mile. There's another mile. There's another mile. There's another mile. There. So I can fit 10 more miles in this space right here. But visually, nothing's getting farther away from me, but the boat is still getting smaller. I just can't see it getting farther. So it will disappear into the horizon. So let's keep going. So here's the ground again. And now the sky does the same thing. This distance here is the same as this distance to here, which is the same as that, which is the same as that, which is the same as that. And then it compresses into this fuzzy horizontal eye zone.
And
And
that's
that's what,
also because of the atmospheric compression.
yeah, right. So here is a little side view. I got me and I got this box here. And if I look down, let's say this is a cruise ship, right? I'm just looking down, and this space between the edge and here, I can't see because it's blocked. This box is blocking my vision, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to move this box to the right. Now, for me, it's getting smaller, but I'm showing you an orthographic view. Now I can't see the water surface in this entire space. And now I can't see it in this entire space. I'll make the scale smaller here, right? So there's little spaces where I can't see, right? And then
Mhm.
I go out. Now I can't see that space. Now I can't see all of that space is hidden from me, right? And now I can't see all of that. I bring it all the way out here. That ship looks like it's at my eye level. Before it was way down here at my knees. But that ship, and I think that's the horizon. And anything that's beyond that, I can't see. It's gone.
Yeah.
So that's a terrestrial view, right? That's looking at something terrestrial. Let's look at it from the sky. And where is it? Um, here, this is a fun one. Have you seen this? What do you see here? What
I
do you see?
don't think I've seen that one.
Okay, this is a guy standing on a pier. He's fishing, maybe, whatever. This is I composited this. You got the sun. What can we say? We can say that the water is higher or lower than the pier.
Lower.
Okay, makes has to be, otherwise it would be covering the pier, right?
Yeah.
And the ship is on the water. The sun is above the clouds. The clouds are above the water, right? That's how we interpret the world. But what if I told you what we're looking at is nothing like that, right? Where's the building? There's a 50-story building in this
Oh, is he
picture.
standing on the building?
He's standing on the building. Ready?
Yeah.
There's the building. We're actually looking straight up. Okay, so I'm in New York City. I'm looking straight up. It's 12 noon. I can see the sun in the sky, and the sun moves away. It's now 1 o'clock, we'll say. Is the sun below the horizon or is it beyond the building?
It's beyond the building.
If I wanted to see it again, I could do two things. I could go up in the air and look over the building, or I could walk backwards and get a better angle. If I went back 10 miles, I would be able to see over that building. The building would appear to be at eye level, and I'd be able to see the sun. I'd be able to see the sun over the building. So here is the perspective grid, right?
Yeah.
And so this guy, his eye level's right here, and I put a mountain here. This mountain, let's just say it's 1,000, 2,000 feet over his head, right? And so the sun is going to do what? Is it going to go below the horizon, or it's going to do what it did to the building? It's going beyond.
Yeah, it's beyond.
It's beyond. Now, if I go backwards, like say 10 miles, 20 miles, this line, is it at my eye level, which it appears to be, or is it still 2,000 feet above my eye level?
Well, it's still above your eye
It's,
level, but it looks
but it
like
looks like it's eye level.
yeah,
A
it does.
glober will say that's the horizon of the ball. And what happens when the sun goes away, just like it did before? Is it below it or is it just beyond it?
It's beyond it. I live
Beyond
in
it.
Longmont, so I got Longmont
Yeah.
Mountain right here. Yeah.
And so now we add the sky, which is another layer. The sky does the opposite of the earth. It ramps down. The clouds ramp down and all get pushed into this horizontal eye zone. Now the sun is above the clouds. The sun goes away, just like it did before, and it went beyond this line. What is this line? This line is the mountain, which is thousands of feet above my eye level. And the clouds, the atmosphere, which has compressed and become opaque, is thousands of feet above the clouds. So this line is many thousands of feet above my eye level. Any celestial object goes beyond it, and a glober will say, that's the curve of the earth. You live on a ball. This is just lack of education, indoctrination, and unwillingness to look at reality. Now, we could show this to a glober, the anti-flat earthers, 1,000 times, and they will still not be able to straw man. I mean, steel man, which means explain our point of view. They still will not admit that that's how it works.
That's because their mind has a filter, right? Because they got it so young. So I have your app. Oh, it's got a Roseanne. I saw that one's really good.
Yeah.
So
did you watch the Roseanne interview?
yeah, it was good.
She's good. Yeah,
and that's why I signed up. I'm like, oh, he's getting pretty famous. I better get in there before. So I have your app, and I love it. I go outside, and I run a mile. I'm in Longmont, Colorado, and I go, and the sun right now is over like Los Angeles, and it's where it's out in the ocean over Los Angeles. I don't see the moon
because you can't see the moon. It's right near the sun, so the moon is.
Oh
right.
Yeah, yours has got got the right time on
your moon is right there. Your moon's right there, right?
Yeah.
Now for me, my time is different, but the sun's in the same position for you, right? The sun, it's
still over there.
It's about 5 o'clock for me. If you look, 5 o'clock for me, but yours is different. Yours is going to be turned 3 time zones to the counterclockwise.
Yeah. Well, you're on the other side of the U.S. I'm in the middle.
I'm on the East Coast. Yeah, you're in the middle. There you go. So
So I love your app.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, every day there's a featured video right here. Google's hiding these videos from you. Watch these videos and it'll change your life. There's the frequently asked questions page. There's the friend finder. There's the matchmaker. There's the meetup maker. But those of you that don't know, on the meetup maker, if you click the meetup maker, you can let me just show you because this is important. On the meetup maker, which you just click the little meetup button, you can sort by date, sort by location. But most importantly, down here, you click alert me, and then you select whatever radius, right? 500 miles, 100 miles, or 1,000 miles, whatever, and say notify me, put in an email address. That way, if somebody makes a meetup, and let's say you pick 100 miles and it's within 100 miles of you, you'll get an email saying, hey, somebody made a meetup. And you're like, you know what? I'd like to meet some other cool, unjabbed, smart people. And then you go to the meetup and you have a whole bunch of new best friends. So if you have the app, turn on your notifications for meetups within whatever radius you wanna do.
Okay, that sounds good. I would do want to do that. I use your app all the time for questions like people globers will, what about this? What about that? So
Here,
I
here's
just use your app to find the
here's
least.
something. If you click the images button, right?
Uh-huh.
You click the images button, up come images. And like, let's say someone says, well, what about the Mount Rainier sun under the clouds? Just type in sun under, and then type the whole thing. And here's a whole bunch of pictures debunking the sun setting and lighting up the bottoms of clouds. If you look, the sun is below these clouds, but the tops of the clouds are lit, right? And you can show them these pictures and they have no excuse. It completely debunks. The sun is clearly down here, but the tops of the clouds are lit. It's just perspective. It's like looking underneath a bridge and seeing the sun and thinking that the sun is lower than the bridge. It's
Yeah.
just perspective. Things appear in different orders because of the distances. Um,
Well, I'm also a pilot, and I got my license in 1976, I think, or 78. And I was in college. I got the scholarship from Olive Beechcraft,
yep.
a full ride scholarship to get a license. And they never taught us about curve
Uh-oh,
or
you
spin.
froze.
Oh, they never taught us
Of
about
course
curve or
not.
spin. They it was a very, I mean, I was a straight A student, president's list and college and everything, and the test was hard. I mean, it was like 5 hours. Besides, then there was an oral, and then there was a flying test, and the written test. Yeah, I had to learn about all the FAA rules and all those laws. There's tons of those, and then I had to learn about clouds and weather, and I had to learn mechanics
Yeah,
and how to do the plane and aeronautics and how lift works, and besides how to fly the plane. Not once did they tell us
because
to.
if they did, it would be too confusing and you would kill everybody on the plane. This
Well,
this is
they didn't even
when
take it into consideration. No curve, no spin. No, but
when, when you're talking with somebody, one of the good things to pull up is type in Southern flights, and a whole bunch of these images come up. And you say, "Look, does this make any sense?" From Auckland to Lima, Peru, goes all the way up to Los Angeles. Why didn't they just fly here? But if you look at it on a flat Earth, it's right there. It's a straight line. Right? There's a whole bunch, and that usually gets people. That's one that'll
yeah,
get
your
people.
emergency flights,
Right?
the
You
one
can
through
type in.
Russia, right, where
Yeah,
they
yeah.
had to be
Just type
next
in
to a dead
emergency.
person. I mean, that poor kid.
Yeah. Type emergency. Here it is right here. This is the one where they flew for 8 hours with a dead mother, right? Sitting next to your dead mother for 8 hours, they didn't land. And the reason was is because they were over Russia and they couldn't admit they were over Russia. And plus Russia would probably help and be helpful and nice, and can't have that.
Yeah.
Can't have that. So
Yeah,
um
those, and so you went kind of advanced though, like with the perspective. The
I did.
So there's for really new people, like, so you showed the camera, and that's why they killed the Nikon P1000, right? Globe killer,
Yeah.
because you can zoom in. But there's other things that really show that the Earth is flat. So can you show some of those?
Like we can see too far,
Well,
that
and
type of
I
thing.
like the where. Oh, and I didn't get this for a while. It took me like 6 months after you showed it, and it's really important where you can see the sun comes to your feet. That's a big one. Once you get that you wouldn't see the reflection. See, I was in Hawaii for 21 years, so I have shared that one where you can see Oahu from, I think it's Maui or Kauai.
Yeah.
But yeah, you and the
Well,
sun comes to your feet.
yeah, well,
Oh,
I mean, you're talking about the reflection on the water.
yeah.
right?
That one's
Well,
good too. The one you're showing right now, that's good.
this is just street lights going away. We know that they're on a level street. This is just the sun or the moon going away. I think it's the sun. And it goes beyond, this line, which looks like it's at your eye level, but it's thousands of feet above your head. Um,
But they
hear
have to
that?
get out of the mindset that it's 93 million miles away and that it's
That is true.
and that it's giant, right? Like it's
Yep.
not. It's small. It's over our flat plane. The moon.
Right here. This is so this line right here is level. It's actually a terrestrial view of this line that I'm viewing from a celestial perspective. It's at the camera's at the same height as this line.
Yeah.
So this line is the same line. Now look at that angle. That's crazy. This is the sun going away. And what's it going behind here? It's going behind what I call the atmospheric deck of opacity. And when you're zoomed out, it looks like it's going below your horizon, which you've been brainwashed into thinking that it's the curve of the earth.
Yeah, that's your kitchen, right?
My kitchen.
So cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if people quite get that. We might have to watch that over again, but
Well,
he's literally
here's
just
the
moving it
sun.
above
I
the
put
line.
these fake clouds in here. The sun's just going away. You see what disappeared from the bottom up? Because it's just going beyond. Now push that into the distance. It all appears to be at your eye level. You assume it's a globe because you've been brainwashed. And look, it's going below. It looks like it's going below this horizon. It's just going beyond those clouds.
Yeah, it's going away.
It's going away beyond the horizon. Right, what's this one here? Yeah, so this is showing you how perspective works. I'm zooming in, they're rising up, but they're all at the same level. And here is this is a little intense, but let's go through it. This person is looking up at that cloud. Okay. And so you draw a line. Let's say we pull a string from his head to the cloud. There's the string, right? But then we look 10, 15, 20 miles in the distance. All of those clouds look like they're going to merge into the horizon. So we're here and he's looking at that cloud. And if this was a string, this guy sees a string that's pretty level over the water going to that cloud. But that cloud's the same height as this cloud.
Yeah,
Now, what would happen if you were standing underneath this cloud?
it would be up.
So you're underneath the cloud and you could see the string. You see the string going like this, right? Because you're here under the cloud. That cloud is high for you. This guy is at your eye level. And so you see the string going up. He sees the string going level. Same string.
Yeah.
So here is you got the viewer, and here's his line of sight. Now you see this cloud high in the sky, but this person doesn't see it that way. This person sees that line hovering over the water. And as the sun moves forward, it's going to go beyond this cloud, which looks like it's at the horizon, right? This is a side view. Nobody ever gets to see a side view, ever, except in a video like this. Now,
Yeah.
watch. From his point of view, this is a side view of his point of view. This is how he sees that. That cloud is right here. The sun's going away and it goes beyond. And it looks like it's going below the curve of the earth. It's just perspective. I think that's why they stopped teaching art in regular classes in school. Like in most public schools, they stopped teaching that because they don't want you to see that. It's exactly what's going on here. This
Yeah, we
sun
had
is
to learn
not
to draw
going
it, right?
right. It's not going below this opaque cardboard cloud. Okay, it's going right. It's going right along it. But from your point of view, it goes down.
Yeah, I get that.
It's amazing. It's so easy not to get it. It's so easy just to believe what you believe because it takes less brain power. It's much easier to memorize and regurgitate, right?
Well, you have
Here's
that
the
filter. It's called filters in
yeah,
consciousness, right? And so you've got to
yeah,
filter. Well, my teacher wouldn't lie to me. My parents wouldn't lie to me. They
right.
wouldn't lie to me. I mean, they got all this money. NASA's got all this money. They can, they would know, right? Well, no, they're all lying.
right?
Biggest
So
liars on the planet.
most people don't think about this, right? When you're watching a beautiful sunset, if you believe you live on a globe, you don't believe that the sun is just going away. You believe that you're falling over backwards
Oh, it took
faster
me
than
6 months to hear that one too. I was like, "What the hell's he talking about? Falling
well,
over
because
backwards?"
the sun is in the sky and you're rotating away, and
Yeah,
the sun appears to go down because you're falling over. It's so, I'm
stupid.
gonna say it, ridiculous and stupid. Okay, that most people like can't even fathom it, but that's what they believe. They believe these things without ever saying it out loud because they've been indoctrinated into the. Well, that's what it is. Well, what is it exactly? Let's examine it. You believe that you're falling over backwards faster than the speed of sound. Well, no. Well, no. Well, they can't even say it, right?
Yeah,
Because that's what they believe. They don't even know that they believe it. Here's the thing: flat earthers know 10 times, 1,000 times more than about the globe Earth, about the globe model than the people that believe it. The people that believe it believe the lie, right? And without ever putting any critical thought into it. So
that's why
if
they
the
got
earth,
us in kindergarten,
if the earth is spinning,
right?
the sun would rise, yeah, 15 degrees per hour over the sky and 15 degrees. And when it got to the horizon, it would just keep on going, right? This is, I filmed this, right? So I've got I pause this for a second. The sun was way up here, right? And it was going down, 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 down. Now that's the spin of the earth. It would keep on going. It would just keep on going, boom, boom, boom. But the sun went down, 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 and it stopped. Now, my friends were over at the beach over here. They saw the sun set 10 minutes ago from the bottom up over the water. I'm still seeing the sun from my drone at my house. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And watch what happened. So the sun went down, 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 down. And now the Glober's like, you don't have a solar filter. If I had a solar filter, you wouldn't even see the sun. And focus, not focused, I don't care. Down, 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 down. It stopped. It's sitting right here. And I got this super sped up, right? And instead of going down, this was a super clear day. I call it 9/11 clear. Okay. And it just gets eaten by the atmosphere because its light can't push through at that distance. There it is again. It's going forward and
Yeah.
back, right? And then they say, Photoshop. You did it in Photoshop. I did it 7 times. I live streamed it. Okay. Trickery. Or they just ignore it. They ignore it
Yeah. Well,
because there's
you
no
can't get
explanation.
their filters,
Yeah,
right? You've got to be willing to get through your own
now
belief crap.
this is me.
Filters.
This is me zooming in heavily on this. The thing is, they'll say, I've watched a million sunsets. I live in Hawaii. I've never seen that. Have you ever put a drone up on a super cold day with no humidity and watched it, to past the point where you could barely see it? No, you haven't, right? With a 4K camera. Um, and so this is called the sun fade out. On my app, if you go to the web button, the button looks like a spider web. That's the more resources page. There's a section on the bottom. The bottom section is the sun fade outs, and all the sun fade out videos are there, right?
Yeah.
Occasionally, you can see a sun fade out from the ground. And here's one, a buddy, I think he was in Florida, filmed it. This is from the ground, and the sun kind of, it was a pretty clear day, and the sun kind of just disappeared as it's going away.
Yeah. I
But
think
let
you should show your first with the sun and moon going around, because people who have don't understand the concept, then you can show the sun takes its own light with it. Right, that little video.
you mean this? That I mean, just with
Well,
the
that
sun
one's
going.
not moving. Oh, yeah, now it's moving. Yeah,
So I
so
could
that
put the
works.
time lapse on. This is how the sun goes around. The sun is in close to the Tropic of Cancer right now, which is this yellow line. And that's why the inner north is having its summer.
Yeah.
And then it spirals its way for 6 months out to the Tropic of Capricorn. If I use a little jumping guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that'll bring it out to December. And it's far away from us in the inner north. Therefore, it's lower in the sky and it's cold. It's cold. If
Oh,
you and I are sitting outside, freezing our butts off in the middle of the winter, and somebody was holding a heat lamp directly over you, 10 feet over you, you'd be warm. I'm 20 feet away. I'd be cold. You would say the sun is directly above you. I would say the sun is at a 45-degree angle from me and I could barely feel it. It's far away. Now, that person walked over to me, keeping it at exactly 10 feet. It would get higher in the sky for me, and I would get warmer and you would get colder.
Yeah.
Seasons, actually, look at this. I have a graphic for this, right? Here you are. You got the sun over you, and it's nice and warm, right? And I'm over here, right? You see the sun directly up. I see it at a low angle. It's farther away. It's December over here. It's June over here. And now the person walks over and it gets higher for me and lower for you. It gets warmer for me and colder for you.
Yeah.
That's simple. It's that simple.
Yeah. And the sun takes its light with it. Since
Yes.
it's not this giant thing.
You saw the sun taking its light with it right there in that sun fade out.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
Yeah. And it's really interesting. There was another one I thought that would help people. Oh no! Oh, I know what. I always noticed on compasses and stuff that it just always pointed north, right? So if you'd show that this is all south, the ice wall is all south.
Every direction is south. What? What, Dave? What are you talking about, Willis? Right?
That would help people, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So this is where is it? My things are moving on me. Circumnavigation.
I have plenty of time. I don't know if you're limited, but
that's all right. I'm a little limited because I can only stand for so long today. All right. So here I made a flat Earth map and I got a neodymium magnet right here. That's my North Pole, right? We have a magnetic north. Similar on a globe, similar on flat Earth. I got my compass, and if you look carefully, the needle is pointing towards the center. You can do this yourself. So west is 90 degrees off of that, which is that way. But to maintain a heading of west, I have to constantly keep turning to the right. Right? I'm following a heading of 270 degrees west. Yeah. And look, I ended up right back where I started from. The compass.
Yeah.
I'm turning, but I'm not turning via the compass. Now I'm heading 90 degrees east. And I go right back to where I started from. People say, well, I went around the world, get right back to where I started from. And therefore, excuse me. Therefore, the Earth is a globe, right? Makes no sense. But now I'm going to dead reckon west. So I line my compass up. The needle's pointing towards the north. This is west. And I'm going to follow this. I'm going to ignore the compass. I'm not going to correct to the north. And as soon as I do that, I'm heading south. South is every direction. Every one of these little lines is going south. You get that?
South is the outer band.
It's heading south, right? It's heading south. Now, if I go south on a globe this way, I should appear over here. Well, from Santiago, I should appear in Australia. But if you go south, you never come back. Billions of people have circumnavigated south. 0 have done it. No, billions of people. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. No. Billions of people have circumnavigated east and west. 0 have done it south.
Yeah, because you can't go over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've even done your little experiment with the measure on Google Maps, where you try to measure the.
Oh yeah. That's you can't. Yeah, you can't measure the Antarctic
or the pole.
Or the pole. The two places you can't go. You can't even go virtually.
Yeah, I've done that. It does that exact thing, and so the people are going to wonder, why the light. Well, I'll let you do that one.
This is, I'm measuring South America, easy, shows me the square miles. But if you try to do it to Antarctica, watch this. It does this inverted, look at this. It does this inversion.
Because it's
It
being
won't let you,
honest.
it won't. That's right. That's right.
Being honest.
Yeah.
And there's land up there, right?
Well, there was in all the previous maps, but
Yeah.
nobody's allowed to go there.
Yeah, it does the same thing.
Yep.
And then Black Rock is in the center, which
Yep.
is yeah, and it
That's
tells you the distance for people who don't know. It'll tell you the distance and everything, but not
yep. So where do you want to go from here?
uh
Just for those of you that don't get it. So people say, why the lie? This is the why the lie. That's where you wanted to go.
yeah.
So imagine this. You live in Canada, in the United States, right, even part of South America, and the elite draw a circle around it. They build a wall here. This is the wall. You're not allowed to go past there. You're not even allowed to go see the wall, right? You
Yeah.
go on your boat, but you're not allowed to go very far out to sea, right? And they're like, okay, this is where you live. This is all that there is. And they wrap it around a sphere and they tell you you're not allowed to go to this white area. It's off limits because there's penguins there and we have to respect them, right? You can't even fathom that Europe exists, that Australia exists, that Africa exists because you live on a sphere. Whoops.
That's okay. Go
Right?
for that one.
Yeah. So what if the world was like this? Now, by the way, this is pure speculation. We don't need to figure what's beyond Antarctica to prove the Earth is flat. That's easy. We do that here in our backyard. We do that while you're flying. We do that all day long. But what if, just what if we lived here in the center of this pond and this was Antarctica and beyond it was more land, but they cut it out. They wrapped it around a sphere. They said, this is where you live. This is all that there is. And you're not allowed to explore this white area. You can go to this little tip right here to a little place they call Rothschild Island or Deception Island,
Yeah.
right? And, they'll put on a little light show for you, but they won't ever fly anybody from here, follow the shoreline around and go to Australia. They won't ever do that because they can't, because it's not there. It's way farther apart. But
Yeah.
people want to go to Antarctica and look up at the lights in the sky to try to prove the shape of the Earth, which is stupid. It's stupid. No matter what you see, it doesn't prove anything.
Yeah, and if you go back a little and talk about the outer lands,
You
outer
want to talk
space, outer lands,
about
because a lot of people are, and that's the trap for your mind, right? Traps your
yeah.
mind. That's what we were talking about at the beginning.
Yeah, well, I'll talk about ships to the outer lands. So we went on a ship tracking website and we found there were some ships that were way inside Antarctica and 730 miles. Like, how does a ship get that far in? And at that distance, it's almost 2 miles above sea level, right? And then zooming out, we found another one 905 miles in, right? That's over 2 miles, 2.37 miles above sea level. How does an active ship get in there, right? No one's asking these questions, right? So we look. We found this map was found in a Buddhist temple. It was published in 1910 in a Hawaiian newspaper,
Yeah, Hawaii.
and it showed all of these outer lands. That's interesting. It doesn't prove anything. It's interesting. Now the anti-flat earthers will be like, "That's just a cartoon," right? I don't know. It doesn't appear. It doesn't ring that way to me, right? So here is so one of the ships that we clicked on it and it said it was 850 meters long, 80 meters wide. That is a gigantic ship. How does it get there? And we click on it and there's very little information. Normally there's tons of information. And it said it was registered in Kiribati. Kiribati is how it's spelled, but Kiribati it's called. And so we looked into it. What is it? Where is it? It's here. You don't see it because it's tiny. There it is. I put a pin on it. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And we zoom in, and it's like a little sandbar with some really weird names. And by the way, see what it says Kiribati? Kiribati, how it's spelled, right? They changed it. They changed it since we've been exposing it.
Oh,
Right?
I spent hours looking at that little island and
Yeah,
on a
there's
Google
all
map.
sorts of weird stuff, and
Yeah.
there's a hotel on there, the Captain Cook Hotel, which is Captain Cook tried to circumnavigate Antarctica 13,000 miles, but he ended up going almost 70,000 miles and not even completing the journey, which
Yeah.
sounds like it's going around a flat Earth. Um, so maybe there's just somebody that loves Captain Cook. And then we started looking at the ships that were docking at the giant pier on this little island, and they had very little information. They said their origin or destination was Christmas Island or unknown. That's weird. That's weird, right?
Yeah.
And we,
Well, it's
some people
like a
say,
flight plan on a plane. You're supposed to have
yeah,
a destination, right?
yeah, but there's very little information. And then also on this island, they had all sorts of nuke testing and all of this. The island sinking, and the people are, global warming, and they're just doing everything they can to make nobody want to go there, right? And one of the stories is one of the military guys that was there when the bombs went off said he put his hands over his face and he could see the bones through his hands. I think he just watched Bugs Bunny, right? And got confused on what reality was and what he saw on Bugs Bunny. Um, and you have you looked into the nuke hoax? The nuclear bombs
And a
aren't.
little bit. I've
I,
seen pictures of Japan where it's thriving cities where it was supposed to be like what
yeah,
ten
3 days
thousand
later, the
years.
cities were or open. Everything was going perfectly fine. On my website, flatearthdave.com, scroll down to the nuclear hoax banner, click that, listen to the podcast, make up your own mind. You'll see. There's no
Oh, and
way
the
you can
little
watch that.
car disappears. You can tell it's a little.
Oh yeah, that too. But there's so much stuff. So this is time zones, right? If we look at time
Yeah.
zones, these are all the time zones on the Earth. And if we zoom in here, there's one weird time zone that goes like this across 3.5 time zones. And what's right here? Kiribati, Kiribati. Okay, that that what does that prove? It doesn't prove anything other than weird. It's weird. It's weird,
Yeah.
right? And so here, just to show you, since we've been doing this, when you put in spell Kiribati or Kiribati, whatever, um, this other island comes up now. And when you go actually over and way far, far away, when you go over to this island, it's no longer Kiribati. Let me zoom in here if you can see it. It's Kiramati. There it is. What the hell? That changed.
Yeah, it did.
They changed it because maybe they don't want people finding it.
It's too late. The
It's
cat's
too
out of the
late.
bag all
Cat,
over the
cat,
place.
the cat is out of the bag. Another funny thing is time zones. If the Earth was, a ball, there would be 24 lines from the North Pole to the South Pole, like the sections in an orange for each time zone. But there's 19 time zones in the North, 24 between the tropics, and 32 in the South.
That proves it right there.
That right there could wrap that around a ball. You have to get rid of some, but
Yeah.
you can't.
No, that proves that there's more space,
Or space.
land out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And people, what here's the thing. Let me go back to this. The so so what's going on? So maybe those ships in Antarctica. Remember how the whole thing comes together at the bottom?
Uh-huh.
Maybe those ships are actually going to the outer lands. So this ship, if we made this whole thing a ball, would be inside the continent of Antarctica. Maybe it's a trade route. Maybe they're trading, weapons, technology, computer chips, tuna fish, or children. We don't know. Maybe there's a whole bunch of trade routes out there. What if all of this land, resources, civilization, technology, people existed, and the elite are keeping that to themselves and keeping us as, you're here in our little pen where we're taking over here, at the center of our pond, very important area. Um, That's, to me, that makes a hell of a lot of sense.
And you
Makes a
have
hell
you
of a
read the book? Iron
the Iron
Republic?
Republic. Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't read it. Is it good?
If you go on the app and search, it's in the book section. Um, you can find, just go to the more land section. That there, and the Navigator Across the Ice Wall is awesome. That's a great book, and you can also go to the video search, and you can search for I believe if you go to video search and search Iron Republic, search Iron. Let's see. And well, I guess it's not in there. I will add it in there. There's an audio version of it.
Oh, good. So that's to tell people that don't know it that I guess a guy went over there and lived for 10 years or something.
So it was a politician out of New York that got sick of the what was going on here. He sold his house, bought a ship, was going around Antarctica and found an opening, got sucked through it, then was at back in sea. The stars weren't right. They were lost at sea for a couple of months. Then they saw land, they saw a city. They waited for the morning, and in the morning a boat came out, like, hey, ahoy, what's going on? They're like, hey, we're from America. Where the hell are we? They're like, oh, you're at the Iron Republic. They're like, where's that? He goes, well, it's on the other side of Antarctica, about the same distance as America. And they didn't quite understand. They come ashore. It's a whole advanced society there, flat screens, a whole different money system, and just a whole different civilization. Very, very much more advanced. This is in the late 1800s, and they end up staying there for 10 years. The guy fell in love. He got married. Long story short, his wife died, I think, and then he got distraught. He got his ship back, and he made it back to Florida to tell his story. And it's a great story. It rings true to me, whether it's true or not. They were talking about more land beyond Antarctica in the early, late 1800s, early 1900s. It was published in 1901, and it's a story they don't want out there because it was actually published as a series of articles in Florida Magazine, and you can't find a single hard copy of that anymore. You can find a couple PDFs of two or three of the parts of it, but they've removed all of them. They're trying to erase this story because, oh, and by the way, they said the people that lived in the Iron Republic, they're like, well, we used to live where you live in the 1600s, but there was tyranny, so we left. Could you imagine that tyranny here?
Yeah.
You could? I
Even
can't.
living in Hawaii, it just bothered me because I was on the Big Island. There's so much
Yeah,
land, but just to get a little bitty place costs so much money, and then there's just tons of empty space. And every
yeah,
time I'm on a plane, people are like overpopulation. Like, have you ever been on a plane and looked out the window? You can fly
yeah.
for hours, and there's like a couple little houses and nobody there. I mean, there's so much land that we're not allowed to just have as a people. We have as much rights on this plane as anybody else. I don't know why well, because everybody was brainwashed as a child, but why we don't allow ourselves to just have
Yeah.
what's ours. It's our birthright.
The bottom line is, if you believe their nonsense, you can follow their rules, right? But it's their rules. It's not our rules. You can't tell me what to do. You can tell me and I could do it or I could not do it. It's up to me,
Yeah.
right? So government, govern the mind, control the mind, um, is a belief system. Money is a belief system. And if we all stop believing the lie, we would free ourselves. But they can't have that. That's why they hide flat Earth. Because if everybody woke up to flat Earth today, the governments have dissolved tomorrow. Everything changes. Everything. I was just on a podcast with a guy that's just so lost in space and lost in the sauce. And I think he worked for the military and everything. And he admitted, he goes, well, I can't do that. He goes, because if I admit that, then I'll lose my job. I was like, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So people, I was like, you just admitted it. It was amazing. It was
Well,
amazing.
my moon truth. I met the vice chairman or whatever of Canada, who was Paul. I forget what his last name was, but he was talking about other beings and everything. And there's a lot of them that they couldn't say anything because they lose their pension. I met so many people in the truth movement that just the ones who were out there were the brave ones. The other ones, either they're close to dying, right? So they finally come out with the truth. But there's a lot of people like us who just do it, just come out with the truth and stand in the light. And, oh well, it's what we do. I'm really proud of you, and your graphics are just amazing. A lot of the other people, they appeal to the intellectual, right, and things like that. But I'm a graphic. I have.
Yeah, I'm a very visual person also. People say, "Where's your model? Where's your model?" Right? I say, "Where's your model?" Here's our model right here. This is a terrarium, 40 years old now. It hasn't been open in 40 years. There's animals living in there. There's water, there's oxygen, there's carbon dioxide, there's plants. 40 years. This is an enclosed system, self-sustaining, amazing. Now show me that on a ball. Show me that on the outside of a ball. Right? Can you do it? No.
Yeah, the
40 years.
gravity
This
hose.
is 40 years old.
Yeah.
There's our model. Where's yours?
Well, we don't have their budget either, right? What,
We don't need
65
we don't
million a
we don't need
day, and it.
listen. The truth is unchangeable. A lie, and it's there whether you believe it or not. A lie only is in your imagination. So they have to keep pushing and pushing and pushing for us to maintain their lie, right? If you just look at the truth, their lies disappear.
Yeah, and it's God consciousness. So if you get what 100 million people believing the globe, or billions or whatever, then and to step out of that field takes more energy. You have to be a stronger being, because you're
Yeah,
stepping out of a group mind field that tries to pull you back in, like the hands of Dante's Inferno. Like they try to pull you back into their hell. And so when you step out, they don't like you.
right.
Because you've blown their cover. It's interesting how awakening works and light works, and standing for the truth.
So here is, if I remember this, a picture from NASA of this amazing sun. All right. Actually, here's another one. Oh, actually, I made that. All right. Here,
Yeah,
I made this whole thing. Blank screen. I this is reverse. Here's my final product. It's better. I actually hold on. I think this is from NASA. Now I got it. This NASA showed us this.
yeah. It says white dwarf.
Yeah. So I took this. I was like, what about this? This looks better. Why wouldn't you believe this? Ready? NASA, me. Mine's better. Mine's
Yeah,
more
yours is
convincing.
better.
Mine's convincing. But if you look at it, I put that in there. Then I took the black background. Oh, this is the stars, right? A PDF. I just Googled this, and I just 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. Right?
Yeah,
I said here. I got a white background. I dropped the Galaxy PNG in there. I just did Galaxy stars PNG. Got that. Dropped in a background. Dropped in a little sun. Mine is better than theirs. That's theirs. That's mine.
yeah, and we catch them all the time. I mean, like
Yeah.
all their graphic. I've had Photoshop since it came out. I got it in, I think it was 1989 when it was invented. I had Photoshop and Quark, and I had an advertising agency.
Yeah, this isn't even Quark or Photoshop. This is PicMonkey.
Yeah,
Okay.
monkey. But I mean, once your mind's trained, you can see it. Like
Yeah.
you can just see it where it's fake. It's
Yeah.
it's and the green screens on the fake ISS and all that.
Yeah.
Probably
This is
another one to go into all
these
that
are
stuff.
from NASA, right? Strange new world scientists have discovered this year, right? Look at this. They want you to believe that this is real. This is what they're showing us. This is from NASA. I didn't do that
Really,
one.
it looks really dorky,
It looks
especially where the
so
line goes
bad.
over and turns to
Yeah.
being gray. It just looks like
Yeah.
they hired a high schooler to do a graphic.
Yeah. This is the first man on Everest, and this is the first man on the moon. One of them's really excited. One of them's like,
Yeah.
you're making me lie. making me lie,
Yeah.
right? Oh, this is a fun one, right? This one, hold on, right? A telescope on Earth just took this unbelievable photo of Jupiter's moon. You know why it's unbelievable? Because it's unbelievable. This look at this thing. This looks like a half sucked on jawbreaker. Remember those candies when we were
Yeah.
kids? Suck the
Yeah.
outer coating off. It looks. I think it is a jawbreaker. I think they're just literally poking at us.
Oh, they're the what was that one they had? The
This is from
Uranus. It looks like a
NASA.
butt.
Oh my god.
I mean, like they've been doing really obvious stuff. Like Pluto is Pluto from Disney, and yeah, it's
Yeah.
there's
Well,
so many
let
people awake.
maybe we can end on that. This is very spiritual, right? This will be great. This will be great. This is the first shot SpaceX took of Earth. SpaceX. That's weird.
Yeah, like
Chemtrails.
all the Disney movies.
Yeah, so they got the sex in there, right? This is Virgin. This is Blue Origin, and this is Virgin Galactic. Okay, that's just a coincidence. I'm just a little perverted, right? 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 This is NASA again. I'm just looking for opportunities
Yeah,
to
really,
to,
that
to
looks.
make to make jokes, right? It's just me, right? It's just me. It can't be all the time. This is how all of the Jeff Bezos Blue Origins are filmed. They literally film it like this, right? It gets worse,
Yeah, you
right?
can watch the counters going forward. It's not
Yeah,
like you're
but
doing
but
it.
yeah, but look at this is what they showed us, right? They're literally they're
Yeah.
teenage boys. Like they're 13-year-old boys, right? This is the first um trajectory to the moon. They said this is the orbits, the path. All right. Is that just a coincidence? Is that just a coincidence?
No.
Right?
No,
So
it's like all their 666s and
yeah,
333s.
this is the space shuttle patch. This looks very like a uterus, like a baby or something. But if you look, they're saying,
Oh
oh, we have
yeah,
this
that's
new
gross.
cup to drink coffee in, right? And they're showing us this. Check out the video of this woman. Check this out. I mean, this is
I've
beyond.
seen that.
Now,
It's
look at this.
gross. You can tell
Look,
it's supposed to be a vagina
and how the hell is that supposed to keep liquid in there, right?
in zero
And
G, right?
in zero G. So the liquid, because of the shape, right? Look at this thing, and then watch. This is should be a PG rating, but this is what they're showing kids, right? Look at that, and then the little face she makes. It's so bad. And then look, this is Uranus. It's got a little butthole, and look, what is this?
Oop.
Is that a poop? I mean, it's like
The
Cartman.
boobs.
And then here is check this one out. This is from a kid's book about the space.
Yeah,
This is Uranus. Look at Uranus.
yeah.
It's crazy.
It's
I
they
it's
do it.
so so
They've been
bad.
doing it lately. They came out with new ones lately that were just so stupid. Once you see it, it's
Yeah.
laughable. Yeah.
So for your listeners, this is taking me from not knowing there's a creator, wondering if there was a creator, not thinking there was a creator, to knowing. It has taken me on a journey that I never could have even have imagined. Every day, God shows me amazing miracles that are they're undeniable. Like when I ask for a sign, I get a sign. It's mind blowing. And when you see the truth, you'll find your way. This world is the most amazing, most interesting place. Boredom is not even a word anymore. Curiosity is endless. I'm like a child. I never want to go to sleep because I might miss something. And this is an amazing time to be alive. And the Flat Earth Awakening is winning. So, with all the drama going on out there, ignore the drama. If you see somebody doing something that you absolutely hate, do the opposite, right?
Or
Because
if
they're
they tell
inspiring
you,
you. They're inspiring you to do something different. But what's happening is people are getting sucked in. They're letting those demons take over their body. I need to attack this person. I need to do this, right? Show your truth and wake up people. If everyone on the app right now, right? When I say everyone on the app, for those who don't know, this is the friend finder.
Yeah, and I don't know my code, so
So
I
I'll show you
need
how
to,
to do the code,
well,
but
I
it's
need to
very
sign
important.
in again
Yeah,
since
yeah.
I
So
updated.
look, these are all the people that are on the friend finder, and you can message them. You can click on a dot and message them. They're worldwide. But on the friend finder, right here is where your um, referral code is. And if you click it, you'll have a random number here. Click the pencil and then make something custom. Anything from one letter,
I
one
think mine's
character to seven.
LLL, but I'd have to,
But
I'm not
you
sure.
should remember that.
Well, I
Okay.
changed it, and I don't know if
Well,
the app changed
but
it.
here's the thing: whenever you show someone the app and they want to get to the app, give them your referral code because you get points, right? And you can trade those points in for a subscription, and there'll be other things. But you're also getting. We're starting the end of the summer. We have Dome cryptocurrency. It's a new cryptocurrency where the Dome is the limit, and we're giving out free Dome to anybody, even if you have zero referrals, that puts their MetaMask address in here, right?
I
And
don't know
so
what that
you know,
is.
so you have to have a crypto wallet. I'm about to drop a video um, that is going to teach you exactly how to make it. It's super simple,
Okay.
right? And all you have to do is get your address, drop it in here. You'll get free. We're going to airdrop free Dome to everybody, and then for every referral you get this year, you're going to get 1,000 Dome. What is Dome? I don't know. What is Dogecoin, right? I'll tell you what Dogecoin is. It made a lot of people millionaires. And this has a better use case because the mining of this is every time you wake somebody up to flat Earth by getting the app, you mine 1,000 coins that go into your wallet, and you could do with them what you want.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
and I'm not claiming they're going to be worth anything, but maybe they're going to be worth a lot. We don't know, but we have a great community behind us, and you have nothing to lose. Just put a MetaMask wallet address in there and forget about it. Come back in 4 years and see what happens. Or you can actively wake people up to flat Earth, earn more Dome, and then see what happens.
So, when are you going to drop that video?
I'm going to drop that video today. How's that?
I'll watch it
All right, and
before
also
I
on the app,
upload this
I'll tell
video.
you where it's going to be. I'll tell you where it's going to be on the app. There'll be a pop up on the app, but on the more resources page, which is this web button, the one that looks like a spider web,
Uh-huh.
right? If you open that, right here are instruction videos, and the first one is a long video where we went through every feature on the app. If you have time, if you're really into the learning about the app, that'll teach you everything. But in that playlist will be the Dome video. So if I hit that, go to the other view here. Um, so the first video it goes through everything, but the second video will be how to set up that wallet. Very easy, right?
Okay, I'll
So
do that
so
before I
yeah,
upload
watch
this.
those. Watch those. Not many people want to watch an hour video about an app, but a lot of people do, and it actually will give you everything. And then there's other shorter videos that will show you different things, but it'll be right there for sure. All
Yeah,
right.
and you're not going to do that challenge, right? That guy made.
Oh well, yeah, I don't trust him.
I don't either. I
yeah,
wanted to tell you that first hit I got was no.
well, I'm a bit psychic myself. I
Yeah,
don't
I know.
right. And the from his first email, I got a very negative energy. I have no interest. And the guy, he's a liar, he's a cheat, and he's a straw man, right? Because Globers have nothing but straw man. He keeps saying on every podcast, Dave Weiss has said that he wants to go to Antarctica, but then I offer him a free trip and he turns it down. That's not what I said. I said, if you want to prove the flat earth, we get a whole bunch of us, Neil deGrasse Tyson, a whole bunch of people, right? Globe side scientists, professors. We go to Antarctica on 2 airplanes, and then we both take off and fly around the exterior of Antarctica in a heated plane with hors d'oeuvres and food, not in a field of 30 below zero for 5 days, freezing your ass off and crapping in a can. Okay, right? That
Yeah,
and
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 they're not
and
gonna. They would never take you anywhere that is
Right.
able
They're
to
not going to, but if you fly around Antarctica, the two planes will meet in 6 to 8 hours. And
yeah,
that's impossible on a flat Earth, right? Or from Santiago, just one plane, and you fly to Antarctica, prove that you're in Antarctica, follow the shoreline for 8 hours, which will bring you to the far side of Antarctica on a globe, and then fly 2 more hours and you're in Australia. Can't be done on a flat Earth, and it can't be done, so they won't do that. Um, but that's what I said. That's what I
yeah.
said in a million podcasts. But this guy wants to say that, oh, Dave Weiss said he wants to go, and as soon as he was offered, he turns it down because he's afraid. I'm not afraid of anything. I don't want to be near. I don't even want to talk about you
Yeah, it's his
because
guide. It's your guidance. It's
yeah,
not being afraid or anything. It's your guidance is saying,
yeah, and his and
oh
his judgment. Yeah, I don't know if you know who McToon is. McToon is
God,
literally
I watched
a
five
paid
minutes of him. I
yeah,
couldn't handle it.
a paid he's literally a paid devil. Okay. And I accidentally met him at a debate that was going on, a big church debate in Tennessee. And he goes, "Hey Dave," and I shook his hand because everybody was saying hello to me. And
Oh,
I was like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "Oh, come on, Dave." And I looked at him, I realized it was him. And before I even looked at him, I got this feeling in my
yeah,
hand, like he touched me. I
yeah.
still feel it right now when I talk
Clear
about
it,
it.
clear it. Just
It-
pull it
yeah,
off. Pull that
yeah.
energy off. Because when you talk
It was
about somebody, you pull their energy towards you.
Yeah, so
So
that's what these trolls want you to do. They want you to focus, and unfortunately, this guy Will with his the not final not experiment um is has gotten so many people so much energy. It's fucking horrible. Excuse my language,
oh, it
right?
is.
All right.
Like
It's
so you think some people will fall? Because I've heard other people say they're not going to fall for it.
Well, it doesn't even matter. Like and when I say it doesn't matter, we know that there's no sun that circles behind you in Antarctica. Now, will they see a light? Will there be a reflection? Will there be some trickery? I think there might be some trickery, but I think if we have good quality people like Jaron and Austin, they actually go, that it'll be exposed because every time they try to fake, like the videos that they made without us looking over their shoulder are horrible. They're horrible, but we're looking over the shoulders. We have infrared cameras. Like I also, uh,
Yeah, I don't. I'm getting. I would. To me, I would not recommend any of them go.
I
I want to
kind of
make
agree
sure
with
they
that.
come back. Let
Yeah,
me
yeah,
just put it
but
that
here's the
way.
thing. Here's the thing. I don't think they're going to kill anybody. I don't think that. I think that would cause a huge problem for them. I think they're going to try to trick. But I think that I think it'll blow up in their face because the people think that the elite are so smart. They're not. They're dumb. They're so dumb, right? And this will expose it. And I just think this guy will is a total deceiver. Oh, he's a nice guy and he says nice thing about flat earthers and he says, oh, forget it. I just don't. I'm sorry, I'm even talking about him.
Yeah,
I don't want anything to do with it. And
yeah. Well, it's
that's
just
it.
your guidance. Your guidance knows. So
Yeah,
their guidance knows whether it's right for them if they know how to
yeah,
read their guidance.
yeah.
But yeah,
I
no,
don't, but I think whatever it is that's planned is going to totally backfire on them. Totally backfire.
okay.
Right. One idea I had was we should bring a infrared thermometer and point it at the sun during the day, and then point it at it when it should not be there. And if they're faking something, that'll be a completely different signature.
Yeah, that's
Interesting. It's an
complicated.
idea.
I don't quite
Yeah,
get that,
yeah.
but
Well, if they have a fake light in the sky that's not the sun, it's going to have a completely different
oh
signature
yeah,
when
if
you
it's a
point
big
it.
plane with
Yeah.
a LED
Well,
on
I don't even know if that's the case. I think they might be able to project the light in the sky onto the clouds,
it.
behind the
Yeah,
clouds.
they
I
could.
mean, that doesn't seem hard to me, but
Yeah.
Jaron doesn't seem to think that they can do any of that. And I kind of agree that whatever they do, it's going to be really bad. It's going to be stupid. Yeah, it's going to be stupid. It's going to
Yeah,
be
no, I
stupid.
like your idea. Your idea makes sense.
Yeah.
And live stream the whole thing.
Well, you can't. There's no internet down there. They can't
Oh,
even send us friggin' webcams that show us a full 24 hours in the
well,
summer
if
there.
there was real satellites, they could live stream it.
Yeah. Yeah. They can't do anything.
We won't go into that, but yeah.
Yeah. All
So
right.
yeah, this has been great, David. I appreciate it.
All right,
It's
Lisa.
a pleasure to
Thanks.
meet you.
Thanks. And send me a link when this is up. I'll share it on the app.
Okay.